You know something? I can't believe how dirty CNN's got. CNN used to be really good. They just went completely downhill. They just went completely downhill. There's this one news lady that's on there named Caitlin. Man, that chick is evil. Real evil. She takes things, she lies. Just straight evil all the way around. I wonder who's paying this chick. Cause you know, I don't think they're making that much money. So I would like to know who's really paying her to you know, to take words and twist them and lie on national TV. That's what I'm talking about. Like on my last video, I was talking about saying that a lot of these news medias and stuff that'll be like giving out false information and lying, and you know, and there's like innocent people are sitting there watching this stuff. If it was up to me, I would tell people to stop going to and even doing interviews with these people. Because if you stop doing interviews with these people, their ratings will go down. You won't even give them a foot to stand on. What are they going to do? All hearsay, and then they look stupid afterwards once the information comes out? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, CNN is really garbage. It used to be really good. Now it's just went completely to shit because everybody's got this Trump derangement syndrome or whatever you want to fucking derangement syndrome. We'll just say deranged. But yeah, but listen to this. You know, the information that she's turning around and getting information from, they don't even give out that kind of information. That's coming from the Pentagon that she's supposedly saying that she got information. When all reality, we already know where she's getting her information from. And make up her makeup bullshit. And she gets checked. She gets checked by Senator Mullin. Now listen how deranged. So she's just listen to her. She is just like really garbage. And she wonders why she comes off with the stupidest shit, and it's always attack. Why can't the news be
and Senator,
level?
Thanks for being here tonight. You heard the majority.
Let other
of
people decide instead of making the decisions for everybody.
The nuclear program was obliterated. Have you seen any of that?
Actually, that isn't exactly what he said. He said you need to ask the question to Tom Cotton, who sits on Intel. I'll tell you the reports that we've received is that this was a complete success. I mean, you think about this, Caitlin, and I don't understand why this is such a hard thing for CNN or other people to celebrate the victory that the United States just achieved. We had 30 Tomahawk missiles. We had 14 30,000-pound bombs delivered on target and on time. We had no detection, no boots on the ground, complete mission success with Midnight Hammer. And this is a victory that we should celebrate for the simple fact, Caitlin, that the world is safer because Iran cannot develop their nuclear weapon. And keep in mind, this is a country that is the #1 sponsor of terror around the world. So this should be something that we're celebrating, not something we're trying to bring some division between us on.
And no one is trying to bring any division, and it has nothing to do with celebrating it or not celebrating it. So it's a question of what the intelligence shows. So my question is, have you seen intelligence that shows that the nuclear program has been obliterated?
Well, we haven't had the report on this.
Just
but
listen,
the president,
I'm going to go deliver this
those
shit.
that are in that
world have
said, quite frankly, that this is a complete mission success. I know the initial reports that we have been told, but not in a complete briefing, that has been that it has obliterated their nuclear program. Now, that doesn't mean that they can't start their program again, because you can't eliminate knowledge. They have knowledge, but we know they won't be using these facilities anymore. We know that for a fact. Now, as far as the in-depth report, we expect to have that in-depth report come Thursday. The reason why they had to postpone it is, like you said, a lot of the those that will be briefing us are with you in Netherlands today.
But in terms of this report that we are getting from the DIA itself, what it has put together, it says the core components of the nuclear program were not destroyed, and that neither was the enriched uranium.
Well, Caitlin,
that's more than just the knowledge.
Yeah, but Caitlin, this is a report from DIA. Now, for your listeners, let's break down what DIA is and what DNI is, which is what Tulsi Gabbard, because I think that's important. Tulsi Gabbard is the Director of National Intelligence. DIA is the Director, or is the Defense Intelligence Agency. They don't have eyes in the ground, they have eyes in the sky. This is a report that was incomplete, that wasn't supposed to be released, and we don't even know where they were finding their findings, because the ICs, the intelligence community that actually have eyes on the ground, eyes on the target, which is where we're getting our initial reports from. Those were the people that were in country. DIA does not have people in country that was providing this assessment. We know that this was a complete success. Now, that success means that our delivery system and what our target was on time, and was effectively did exactly what we wanted to do.
Well, first off, let me say, no one is doubting that the B-2 bombers carried out their mission and struck exactly the targets that they were told to hit. No one is doubting that. The question is the claim being made by the president that it obliterated this. You just said the DIA does not do this, but the DIA is part of the Pentagon. The Pentagon is what carried out these strikes, sir. And the director of the DIA is a 3-star military officer who is the principal advisor to the Secretary of Defense, is he not?
That doesn't mean that they have eyes on it. Our eyes on it did not come from DIA. I was in the intel.
You just don't trust their report at all?
Absolutely, 100% do not trust this, because the report wasn't a collective of the ICs, which the ICs, by the way, would go through, which is why I wanted to say this, DNI, which is, it would go through the Director of National Intelligence. For the DIA to put out a report without the collective bargaining of all our ICs, as you said, there's 18 of them, and I can assure you, Caitlin, we don't have 18 agencies, intelligence agencies, working on Iran. That would be disastrous. We have a few, actually we have less than a few. We have really only one, plus our allies that are working in there, and that did not include any of their assessment. So how could you have a complete report given it from their assessment only, and their assessments are only coming from eyes in the sky, not eyes on the ground?
Well, and we have made clear it's a preliminary report, but this is the only intelligence report that so far has.
Well, then why would you run with it? Because you're assuming.
Yeah, why would you run with it?
You're assuming this report is the report, and it is absolutely not even close to report. You know how many intelligence agencies briefings I have set in?
Senator, and you said on armed services, and you just said you do not trust the Defense Intelligence Agency's report.
No, what I said is
to bring up with the Pentagon.
No, what I said is I don't trust this report, because I have said in briefings now for 12 years. I was on the Intel Committee in the House. Not one time did we have DIA ever come in and brief us. That was not where our briefings are coming from. In fact, go back and see all the intelligence briefings we've had that's been public and been in private, that's been released. Have you ever seen DIA one time ever brief Congress? Ever. One time ever brief Congress? No, they have not.
Have you seen intelligence, though, that contradicts what the DIA is saying so far?
Well, I've seen reporting, not reporting from you, but I've seen reports come out. As far as a full briefing, we haven't, as you know, we've already said this, the briefing has been pushed to Thursday. But the initial reports we have 100% contradicts what DIA was saying here. And I'm not saying DIA isn't capable. DIA is capable. I'm saying this report is not an accurate report. I don't even know where this report came from. I don't know who authorized this report or where they gathered their intelligence, but there's no way. There's multiple people inside DIA, Caitlin. But how did this person that brought this report together? How did they get their information? Where did their information come from? Because it wasn't collective around the ICs, as I've said before, not to repeat myself, of gathering the information with individuals that was actually on ground, not the assumption. So I don't know where this report was generated from. I know it was reported out of as a DIA, but why?
There is a reason, obviously, that people want to know about the intelligence here, that the American people do, because, I mean, there have been moments in the United States history pretty recently where flawed intelligence has led the United States into war. So do you believe that the case should be made to the American people to back up the president's claim that he is making based on intelligence, not just what he is saying?
Well, Caitlin, that's a far-fetched compared to where we had been to where we...
See, the ones that had the most eyes on the ground was the people, there was undercover people that were there watching. Them watching these people, watched them unearth to build these facilities, okay? And sat there and watched it, worked, helped build the facility of the underground facility that Iran, or whatever you want to call it. Don't care. Then you had the eyes of the soldiers that were flying the planes. And you know damn well that there was another plane that was up there keeping an eye on everything. That's just how military works. They'll send up a eye in the sky, and then whoever that was on the ground. So they know that they hit the facilities. So what he's saying is that they were making sure they collect all the data before they even say anything about anything. But even though they know that they hit it, that's why Trump came out and said what he said, because he knows it hit on target. And this chick here is just like twisting everything that she can get her hands on, she'll twist. She is so garbage. She shouldn't even be a reporter because she's giving out false information, pretty much. Someone's paying her to talk. That's how garbage she is. There's other people that have their channels out here that be talking about CNN and some of these news hosts, and she's one of them that everybody's talking about. That she is just straight garbage, and she asks the stupidest questions, and it's always a jab. This chick's always trying to she's always trying to jab you in the fucking eye type thing. It's unbelievable what our news has turned into. It's just straight fucking garbage. So you could just imagine when we were younger, we were kids, and we're sitting there watching shit that was news on, and look back and be like, oh wow, I wonder if that really wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking garbage.
Or today, different presidents, different reasons behind. President Trump's mission going into this was very clear.
And Trump criticized those presidents.
Well, I would say that in some cases, rightfully so, criticizing the presidents. Well, when you start looking at what our mission was, every president...
Obama was a pussy. Bush was a pussy. We all know that the reason why we went into Iraq was for other purposes, because his daddy couldn't get it done. He couldn't do the job. So then Junior had to go in and try to say that there was mass war. It was stupid as fuck. We just ended up going in there pretty much for the fucking oil. Obama, he was a pussy. He fucking gave Iran fucking money to shut him up. And guess what? They used that money to build this shit and buy it fucking bombs and do fucking terrorism throughout fucking the world. So think about that. You give fucking terrorists fucking money, what are they gonna do with it? Come on, it's common fucking sense. Well, yeah, Trump called out all these other fucking presidents because they were pussies. None of them could do it. He came in and fucking handled it. Come on now. I'd rather have a fucking guy, have someone that has balls than a fucking pussy.
Since Bill Clinton has made it very clear that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Every single president has said that. And President Trump actually delivered it and did something about it. When you start talking about the assumption of miscrediting what information. There's some that will be shared. There will be a success report come out to the American people, but we can't go into full detail because there's a lot of this stuff that is classified and should stay classified for obvious reasons.
Look how stupid she looks.
The way we were able to get the intel,
she looks
the way
stupid
we were
as
able to get in without being noticed. Over the 30 Tomahawk missiles before
Look
the
at
B-2 showed up, how we knew what weapons to be used, how we knew how to calculate those weapons, what our entry points were, where we knew to precisely hit where it'd be most effective. All that information will not be shared, but the success of it has already been told. But full reports of it that we can share will be shared with the American people. President Trump's the most transparent president we've had.
Intelligence. You're saying that intelligence will be shared, will be made public.
No. I said this stuff. No, Caitlin.
Program was obliterated.
Caitlin, don't put words in my mouth. What I said is the stuff that can be shared will be shared. I did. Well, I thought I was pretty clear. The stuff that can be shared will be shared.
Okay, Senator, let me ask you about what Republicans are working on Capitol Hill, as well as waiting on those intelligence briefings when it comes to the signature legislation that Republicans are working to get passed. I want to ask you about a comment that was reported on by Punchbowl News that Senator McConnell said to your colleagues earlier, talking about failure is not an option here in getting this passed. He was reportedly quoted as saying, I know a lot of us are hearing from people back home about Medicaid, but they'll get over it. Is that how you heard that comment? And do you think that is an effective message from your Republican colleagues?
That is absolutely not the way I heard that message.
No, that's not what he said. I watched it.
McConnell only spoke for maybe 60 seconds and said failure's not an option. We've been in these positions before. We have to make tough decisions. We're elected to make tough decisions, but the American people chose this Republican Party to lead, and we have to lead, and failure's not an option. That was pretty much summed it up. The other part about the Medicaid, I don't remember that at all. I was in the meeting, obviously, and I don't remember that being stated.
She is fucking garbage. I watched the video. That's what I'm saying. Dirty ass fucking news. If y'all stop going on her fucking on CNN for interviews and don't give this bitch any time of the day, kick her out of the fucking White House, they won't even have no money. They would shut the fuck down. It's just like if you're a worker and everybody pulls together and stops fucking working, that fucking company will suffer. Point blank. Alright. Smash that like button, man. CNN, you're garbage.